and welcome to First Team All Vibes, your favorite sports podcast with all of the best vibes, guys. My name is Marissa. I am one of the hosts on this podcast, and I am the vibe connoisseur around here.
I'm Anthony, and I'm the dude that knows ball.
That is right, guys. Happy 2026! We are actually still recording this back in time in 2025, but by the time you see this, it will be 2026.
We're time travelers.
We are indeed. So happy 2026, happy new year to another year of great basketball. Hopefully this year is the best one yet. Even crazier than the last, which seems maybe hard to top, but we shall see. Let's get right into it. A lot of stuff has happened, I feel like, over these few weeks. Obviously Christmas, guys, a bunch of stuff going on. We haven't been making as much content, but we want to catch up, talk about all the things that have been happening, and we are going to start in a place that Anthony, I'm sure, is very happy to start with. I'm sure you're very excited to talk about this. No?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we are starting with the San Antonio Spurs, guys. I feel like they are low-key, like, one of the main, shall I say, storylines as of recent. Beat OKC 3 times
That's
in
the
December.
happy part. That's the excited part.
They beat OKC 3 times, undefeated against OKC, and they're second in the West right now.
Yeah.
And they're honestly kind of ahead by, multiple games now? Like 2?
Now we're ahead by 2 games.
Okay,
We
yeah.
would have been ahead by 4 if we had beat, the Cavs and the Jazz. That's the part that I'm not excited about.
Yeah, hey, you know what?
You win 3 times in 13 days against the number 1 team in the NBA, defending champs, and then you lose to the Cavs,
I mean,
who are, I think, 8th in the East, and then the Jazz, who are like 9th in the West. Pathetic.
I think...
Don't like it.
Okay, well...
Higher standards as a Spurs
we
fan.
can kind of talk about that, I guess, a bit. Yeah. I mean, actually,
but more so it is about...
Yeah.
It is about them beating the Thunder.
I think that, you know what? Every single good... Actually, literally, every single one of the top teams has dropped a game or more against the bad teams. Every single one.
OKC did lose
That's
to the Blazers
why.
first.
Yes, exactly. OKC lost to the Blazers. Spurs have lost to some, interesting teams. Nuggets have lost to the Kings. Freaking Rockets lost to, like, the Pelicans and the Jazz. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it happens. I don't think it's that crazy. I don't think it's, like, an indictment. You know what I mean? I just think that the Spurs, I'm really still curious to see them against the Nuggets and the Rockets, specifically. The Lakers are kind of falling off, I guess. We'll see about that one. I still believe in them kind of, but, maybe this is a gap year more. But for sure the Nuggets and the Rockets, actually, I'm more interested to see you guys against them because I feel like you guys match up with OKC really well because you have kind of the same qualities. Mm-hmm. Like the same, like, really good defense, young, athletic, fast. But what I feel like you guys
the size is similar too.
Exactly. You guys match up really well against them.
Chet is Wemby.
Yeah.
Hartenstein is Cornet. And then it's just lengthy guards.
Yeah, exactly. But what I feel like you guys have on OKC is that you have a better offense. I honestly
that's a little bit of a hot take.
I think
we're both struggling shooting the 3 ball.
Well,
but it's just San Antonio's ability to put pressure on you because our guards attack the paint.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that overall...
Our finishing ability.
Overall, I think you guys have a better offense. Maybe it's not, like, the top tier, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not, like, top offense. But I think that that's been a thing that we've been talking about OKC this entire year, is that, like, they have the most elite defense, but their offense is kind of not as good. You know what I mean? Because it's inconsistent. Exactly. It's a little bit mid. It's inconsistent. They don't have enough really good offensive players. Like, even J-Dub's been kind of, like, on and off. Like, Chet's kind of on and off. Like, yeah, Shea is, like, very efficient. And obviously, he's the leader of that team. But, like, he cannot do it by himself. You know what I mean? And he's not, like, a super, super high scorer all the time to where it's, like, really matching, like, or, making up for those other deficiencies. So I think that that's actually, like, the main thing that I've noticed with you guys' games is that you guys start getting on a little bit of an offensive roll and OKC can't keep up. They just can't keep up. Like, you guys are too similar to where they can't, like, necessarily have an advantage over you unless they are to, like, overperform offensively. Does that make sense? But that's why I'm curious to see you guys against, like, the Rockets and the Nuggets because they have better offenses. You know what I mean? And they will force you guys into like a little bit maybe of a more uncomfortable position because both of those teams play slower, you know? So I'm curious about that. I think that will like tell me like, because it's like, you know, I start thinking about the playoffs and I'm like, I could see the Spurs like beating OKC maybe in a 7-game series. But then if the Spurs are playing like the Nuggets or the Rockets, will that team then beat them?
I trust the Spurs more against... I actually trust them more against the Rockets as opposed to like... I would throw in the Lakers. I'm more scared to play the Lakers simply because of, again, you know, the two-man game sometimes is hard to stop late in games. Mm-hmm. The Nuggets can do that. The Lakers can do that. I don't think the Rockets are doing that yet.
That's true.
What I was impressed by and what makes this OKC thing glaring is, like, I agree. I think top to bottom we match them really well. But the biggest difference is those three guards. Everybody was, like J-Dub. He said that, oh yeah, they have a 7'5" foot guy that makes it really hard, and I agree. Their lack of attacking the paint and literally just like panicking when they get there and dribbling it out or passing it out or turning the ball over when Wemby's in the game is a problem for them.
Yeah.
Offensively, but what I'm noticing is like they also have a Stephon Castle problem. They also have a Dylan Harper problem. They also have a De'Aaron Fox problem.
Well, that's why
they cannot guard any of those guys. And honestly, I don't even think they've guarded Devin Vassell all that well either. It's just there's been, 2 games where Devin Vassell is hitting his shots, and there's a game where he's hitting all of them. So Harrison Barnes had, I think, 25 in one game. Keldon Johnson had 25 in another game. Like, they're having trouble guarding the other guys anytime Wemby's in as well. Mm-hmm. It's all predicated off of like what Wemby adds when he's on the court. But yeah, I mean the guard play, and I think that's what a lot of these West teams is missing. Like the Lakers are missing those young athletic guards. The Rockets are missing those young athletic guards. So the Nuggets are missing those athletic guards. It just makes us a nightmare matchup for them. But yeah, I'm more curious to see how we do against the Rockets and Nuggets simply because of their size.
I agree. So that being said, on that same kind of wavelength, OKC, their fall from grace is slowly but surely happening because not only did you guys beat them 3 times, they also lost to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Totally choked in the clutch. I watched that game and it was very fun to watch. I cannot lie. I mean, they're 3-3 in their last 3 games. Mm-hmm. I mean, they blow out bad teams, which I mean they should. Yeah, exactly. They should be doing that.
That's the championship identity.
Exactly.
They're not losing to the teams they shouldn't be losing.
Exactly.
San Antonio.
But, we already talked about how they went from having the easiest schedule to now having the hardest schedule. And I think that that's immediately showing.
Yeah.
I do not think that they have a chance at all of beating that Warriors record.
Hell no.
And I think that if anything, they're even more beatable this year. And I don't know. I just think that it again comes down to those offensive lulls. And I think people are realizing, like, bro, if you can out-clutch them, if you can outscore them, like, you actually have a good chance of beating them. Like, break down their defense a little bit and, like, they're getting intimidated in those moments. Like, you can tell they start to get shaken. So, I don't know. I'm really starting to question if OKC is really going to repeat. I actually don't think it's as likely anymore. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
At least not this year.
The other part is shout out to Chris Finch for putting it on the national media. For
getting ejected.
They foul a ton.
Yeah.
And that makes it hard.
That was good.
And then you don't get a lot of calls.
Yeah.
And then you can't touch Shea. And he's like, you gotta be, which goes back to, San Antonio and what Minnesota was able to do. He's like, it's case in point. You gotta be very tough mentally and physically when you play them. Because I agree. I think the thing that was the most glaring with San Antonio is like, even when they fouled and they were maybe dumb fouls or soft fouls. There's a point where Wemby absolutely just fucking chucks Chet to the floor. It was a pretty soft call. He goes down, windmill slams it, and says soft. He did not give a fuck.
I saw that.
And the Timberwolves, like, you either have to go in one or two ways. You have to do what San Antonio does, where they just do not care and they stay physical and they do not complain, or you complain immediately and you put the notice on the officials on blast, like, hey, like, this is how these guys are guarding, from Dort to Wallace to Caruso. Call it. If not, then you can't call a lot going the other way for SGA. And I mean, the Spurs and Timberwolves did the rest of the NBA a favor because they kind of gave the blueprint.
Yeah.
Either way, it's either you complain and you change the officiating, or you just ignore the officiating and you have to play basketball. So, they're beatable. They should have never talked about beating that.
I know.
73-9 Golden State team. They were talking about beating the 72-10 Bulls. Are you insane? Or beating the Warriors when they had KD? No. Absolutely not.
No, that's ridiculous. So we'll see about that. But
Now we transition to Yo team.
Oh God.
Lakers,
I have here.
Lakers are looking questionable. They look a little sus. JJ's calling out the team in public. So.
Okay. This is the thing about the Lakers. They don't have, honestly, a well-built roster.
No.
And we've kind of known that since the beginning. But the problem is that we've had so many injuries that's, like, honestly one of the main problems. Like, I will be fair and say, like, the injuries have been one of the main problems. Like, obviously, LeBron was out to start the season, and we got this nice continuity, and then you add LeBron back in, and it's kind of hard to readjust. Mm-hmm. And then right when they're starting to readjust, Austin gets hurt. Or first Luka's out for like a few games for the birth of his daughter, and then immediately after that is when Austin gets hurt, comes back for like 2 games, now he's out for a month. Which that alone honestly screws us so bad because it puts so much more pressure on Luka. Like, a lot of people are like really blasting Luka right now because he's been having turnovers and, you know, he's not been playing as well, but it's because, like, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Nobody takes LeBron seriously like that anymore. LeBron is not performing that well. And it's just like, without Austin, everything is about Luka.
Yeah.
For the other team.
LeBron is giving serious senioritis vibes.
He doesn't really care that much. And, like, he's kind of just letting Luka, like, take all that pressure. And so it's like, Luka's already honestly kind of banged up. Like, he has already had multiple injuries. Like, yesterday he had to, like, go to the locker room and come back, like, because they hurt his shoulder. Like, he's playing banged up as it is. And, like, he's literally getting full court pressed. Like, all the attention is on him. And also, like, half of his turnovers are because guys are not in the right spot. Like, it's obvious. Like, it's, like, not even necessarily, like, him just, you know, like, the untrained eye would be like, oh, he's just making a bad pass. And it's like, it's because his teammates are, like, not all of them. Some of them are obviously mistakes. You know, I'm not going to say he's playing his best basketball of his career because he's not. But, yeah, you know, if all the pressure's on you and you're forced into these contested shots because nobody else can make a shot, your percentages are going to go down. You know what I mean? Like, your turnovers are going to go up. Like, I honestly kind of feel bad for him, and I low-key think that he knows, and I actually even think LeBron knows, that, like, this team is not it. Like, you know, we have one of the worst benches in the NBA. In December, we were 29th in defense in the NBA, and I think, like, 15th in offense. That's not going to do it. Like, we need to at least be a medium defense, middle of the pack, like, and a top, exactly. That is the only path to success for Lakers, so... Yeah, losing badly against the same kind of teams. We actually played decently against the Pistons yesterday. We did end up losing by 20, but that was actually all in the fourth quarter. Like, we were neck and neck pretty much the entire game up until the very, very end when, like, Luka and LeBron were just so gassed that, like, there started being things happening. But, you know, I think that it's very obvious that the Lakers need trades. They need multiple upgrades in multiple positions. There are so many roster spots right now that is basically guys just not contributing at all. Honestly, there's, like, dead money, bad contracts. I realistically think that, like, this time next year is when they're going to be making the final, hopefully the final, like, adjustments to really become contending, because it's like they'll, like, this trade season, off season, and then one more trade season. Like, I think that could be enough if they play their cards right to, like, really build a good team around Luka and Austin. Because honestly, the other thing is, like, Luka and LeBron are honestly not good together. Because LeBron does not really care. I told this to you. The reason, not even, like, just because Austin is, like, such a good offensive player and he's such a good playmaker and all this stuff. Like, not only is it that he's our second best player, he brings so much energy every single night. He really freaking tries on both ends of the floor. He will give his all, even if the other dudes are not. Like, he brings that spark, and it's contagious. And I think that's really good for Luka, because Luka is not necessarily, like, a high motor guy. And that's, I think, why they play so well together. And they have, like, a plus 20 together. But Luka and LeBron, like, it's the opposite. LeBron stops caring pretty much immediately. And so it's like they rub off on each other in a bad way. And I don't know. I'm nervous about this stretch in January without Austin. We're also without Rui right now. Like, it's tough. We're going to see what happens in January. We kind of have a mixed schedule. Some of it's harder, some of it's easier. I'm just hoping we can stay in the top 6 until Austin comes back, and then hopefully make like a final push to at least be decent. Hopefully they make a trade, but I don't want them to make a stupid trade either. Like, we need to be building for the future. We only have so many assets. We're going to see what happens. But we play the Spurs again next week. So, and it's on a back-to-back. So,
as someone who hates y'all, I want y'all to make a trade.
Yeah. I mean, desperately. It's not fun to watch right now.
No.
It's not fun to watch.
My thing is because, like, I think the Lakers tend to do this, and they've been doing this for years, and it's gotten the roster to where it's at now.
Yeah.
You just keep recycling and doing the same thing over again, you're gonna end up in the same situations. I think you got to be patient. The only way I could put it is Kobe was in the prime of his career, generational talent, same thing, and then they lost Shaq. They tried to compete the next year, couldn't, and then tried to go that trade route, and then they kind of just had a few years where they're like, okay, we got to play this out, we got to play the long game, we have the generational guy, he's locked in.
Yeah.
Then they were able to get Jordan Farmar, Derek Fisher, Lamar Odom, brought in Ron Artest, traded for Pau Gasol, drafted Andrew Bynum, and then they built this basically dynasty number 2.
An actual championship team.
So I think the Lakers, you got to move forward. You already know that you have 2 pieces. You have Reeves, you have Luka.
Yeah.
Even if it's not next year, even if your goal is 2 years from now, it's like you need draft capital. I mean, all these young guys that are on all these other teams, like they're getting drafted. So, I would say don't be so quick to be like, okay, just because we have I
agree.
As long as you have Luka, as long as you have Reeves, your championship window isn't closing for another 10 years.
Yeah, they're young.
So you have 10 years. Like, what do you want to do? Like, make crazy trades to win a championship this year, and then the roster is back to being shit next year because you have no capital, you have no assets, and then you're back in the same shitty position for one championship, or go the scenic route. Look at some trees, sell some tickets. You're still going to be a viable product. And then 2 years from now, then you maybe have the next 6 years to compete for multiple championships. Yeah. I would prefer to go that route. But as somebody who hates y'all, make crazy trades. Do it. Do it again. Do the same thing.
No more crazy trades. No. Honestly, I completely agree with you. And I think that's the best way forward. I don't know if I trust Rob Pelinka. That's my biggest problem right now, is that I actually think that he needs to maybe not go, because he's the basketball operations president and the GM right now. So I'm like, at least get another GM, honestly. Like, at least get somebody else in there.
Outside consultant, hit up Magic's line.
Like, oh, fuck no, not Magic. He was even worse, arguably. So I don't know. I'm hoping that freaking Mark Walter, gets some, better pieces in. I know they already fired, the whole scouting department, so that's at least going to get better. They'll be better able to find, good draft pieces and good, trade targets or whatever. So we'll see, but...
Magic was a G. He was a scapegoat.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
The team he had assembled were young. They should have waited.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I've heard a lot of people talk about how that 2020 bubble championship team was, the, basically epitome of the team that you would need now. Young, fast, good defenders, two-way players. And, they literally immediately freaking disbanded that team. Rob Pelinka did. So...
For LeBron.
Yeah, and that's the other problem, is LeBron clearly doesn't care anymore. LeBron might not even make the All-Star game this year. And I don't really think he deserves to. Honestly, if LeBron makes it over Austin, I will be very disappointed. So, we'll see about that. But those are the Lakers. Quickly talking about the Nuggets, which, you know what, I might complain about the Lakers having it tough with the injuries, but goddamn, the Nuggets are down to just Jamal Murray now in their starting lineup. That's it. Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, they have a pretty tough schedule for this month, and they're going to be out, this whole month without Jokic, and they're still without, freaking their other 3 starters.
Yeah.
Now it's literally just Jamal Murray and their bench.
Jonas Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, let's go.
I mean, hey.
Beat the shitty teams
if they can, and I think they should. You know what I mean? Just like the Lakers or just like the other teams were able to beat the shitty teams.
Spurs win 9-3 without Wemby, so.
But I mean, even with Jokic, they lost to freaking who? The Kings? I mean, I don't know. It's just, we'll see. But That is kind of one of my hot takes that I'm thinking for the end of the year is that I think that Denver's going to end up around like the 5 or 6 seed because of this. You don't think so?
I ain't going there.
I mean, that's not like that.
I still think there'll be a top 4 seed.
That could be a game or two difference.
I still
that
think
could be a half
game
difference. Seed. Okay, fair enough. And unfortunately, I also think that this means, in a very unfortunate turn of events, that Shea might get another MVP.
Because of the 65 game rule.
Yes.
I think they need to lower it to at least 60. All right. Yeah. More than 22 games is crazy.
Yeah.
But if you just miss 17, then all of your, usage and like all that stuff just gets thrown out the window. I think 65 games is a lot. I understand why they made the rule, but now it's not even this year. It's not even in the spirit of why the rule was made. So, yeah, they're basically unless Shea gets hurt, but then who's gonna get the MVP? Everybody, it might be Cade Cunningham.
I know,
and then nobody's gonna agree because they're like, we would have at this point we would have like Shea, Luka, Wemby, or Jokic more than that. I mean, Giannis.
If Shea actually got hurt, well, Giannis can't do. Giannis already missed the game limit too.
No, yeah, he's already done. I think Wemby's like 2 games away from being done. Jokic, when he misses like this 10 month, games, I think. If Jokic misses this month, he will have 0 games to play with.
I think that he's going to miss more than a month, though.
That's the thing.
I think the same thing as Austin. He's probably going to end up missing like through the All-Star break. They're going to
do well enough to where they're not going to rush him back.
I agree. But we'll see. That sucks. I briefly talking about the East, the Pistons. They are only 1 game up on the Knicks right now. And my hot take is that I think the Knicks will beat them for the 1 seed to finish out the season. I just saw the Pistons play the Lakers, and it might sound kind of dumb, even though they beat us by 30. I wasn't like extremely impressed by them. I mean, they are kind of like Spurs OKC light, where they kind of have that same style, but they're just not that good. They're not that good. I honestly think that if we had Austin, if we had Rui, like we were down 2 starters and we were keeping up with them. You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't know. I think that the Knicks, even if it's close, I think they're going to overtake them for the 1 seed. That's my hot take. And we'll see what happens in the playoffs, but I am wondering, like, is this going to be a Cavs repeat type of situation?
My only reason why I don't think the Knicks will catch up is because the Pistons, to me, remind me of, like, OKC 2 years ago. It's just they're so young. They can play a lot of minutes. And regardless of if they're not as talented as people may think, they don't take plays off. They try really hard. And I see Knicks sometimes, they get into those, we've been here for a while, veteranship, where they're like,
they're more comfortable.
Yeah, they overlook some teams. And then next thing you know, they're in a tight game against the Wizards when they shouldn't be. And that's not where the Knicks should live.
That's true.
So I think the youth, the minutes played with.
The Pistons also just lost to, like, a bunch of bad teams. Like, they lost to, like, the Pelicans, I think.
But I think the same way that they can get in those, Mavericks. We all know that the Knicks can get really hot. We saw that before the bubble and a little bit after the bubble. And then we see Knicks where they're just like, okay, like, Cat's playing horrible. They're talking about Cat being traded again. And they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. Like, we know that they go up and down like that. I don't think that roller coaster is as, like, crazy for the Pistons. Fair enough. They're in a lull, but, they kind of started the season off in a lull. Yeah. Got hot. They're in the lull again. I think they'll get back hot. They'll get back on track.
But again, will they?
It's the minutes. It's the youth.
Well, but that brings me again to, is this just going to be a Cavs 2.0 situation where
it might be.
They finish with the 1 seed, but in the playoffs they kind of fall short. It could be.
I mean, there was a couple years ago where it was Dylan Brooks, Ja Morant, and the Grizzlies, and they were young. They had a lot of minutes to play with. They were a really good young team. Mm-hmm. They finished, I think, top 3 seed, and then they lost in the first round. I'm not saying that that's the pathway for the Pistons, but I'm saying, like, they overachieved that year in the West.
Yeah.
Because of, the minutes. These guys were playing crazy minutes while all the older teams were having to sit, in the 30 to 34 minute range while these guys were playing 40. So
I agree with you.
I think the youth is on the Pistons side. Yeah. I would much rather pick the Knicks to go further in the playoffs. I think that's a different question. But as far as, like, where they finish, I still think the Pistons are on their way to a 1 seed as long as they stay, relatively healthy.
I can see it. I can honestly see it.
It's the same thing with the Thunder. I mean, they lose guys, but they have a lot of youth, a lot of athleticism, and they have a lot of minutes to play with. So even when guys are out, it's like, oh, the next guy's just as fast and just as athletic.
Yeah, you're right.
So that makes it tough on everybody else to catch up.
I mean, I agree with that for the regular season. I would probably still take the Knicks in the playoffs. And you know who else I might take over the Pistons in the playoffs? The freaking Celtics. My God, not capable of taking a gap year, apparently.
You were sleeping on them. You didn't even have them in the playoffs.
Well, because they were playing so bad. To be fair,
they were. I still had them
really bad.
I still put them
in the beginning. I think I did have them like 8 or something.
You didn't.
Did I not really?
You didn't have them in at all.
Okay, that was probably a mistake.
I had them, I think, at 7, and you were like, 7? What? They're awful.
Never underestimate Joe Mazzulla's psychotic.
I know.
Will to win.
His ways of just like
they're the number 3 seed
motivating
right now.
his team.
To be fair, I mean, they are lucky they're in the East, because I was looking at their record and like they would be like in the play-in right now in the West. Mm-hmm. So I mean, the only reason they're a 3 seed is because they're in the East. But hey, you can't knock them for that. I think they're gonna finish top 4, which is hilarious because once Jason Tatum comes back, like they dead ass might.
Oh, he's gonna come back. They might get to the 5.
And that's what I was about to say. Like,
and if it's a bloodbath the way people think it might be in the West, we just saw. I'd never thought Nikola Jokic, because of his speed of play, could get hurt.
Yeah,
he gets hurt. We know it's gonna be a bloodbath in the West. There are too many top-heavy teams. If those teams come in limping, and the Celtics get healthy right before the playoffs start, go on this run and have Jason Tatum, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Celtics not only could get to the finals, but play a banged-up West team at that point.
That is crazy.
And win. So, crazier things have happened.
That would be the funniest plot twist, I gotta say.
Because we've seen the Thunder already deal with health problems. We've seen the Nuggets deal with health problems. We've seen the Spurs. We've seen the Lakers. We've seen the Warriors. And we've seen the Rockets all deal with major health issues so far already.
Yeah.
So...
You're not wrong. Well. Okay. Well, to finish off very, very, very quickly, I kind of wanted to go through some of my predictions for the rest of the season. And I know we don't have a ton of time, so we won't go super into it. But for next episode, I want you to do the same.
Okay.
And we'll go through your predictions next episode.
So now I'll just react to yours.
Yes, exactly. So these are my West predictions, okay? OKC will have at least 1 loss to every top West team. That is my prediction. Because they still, like, they play everyone, like, multiple times still. Like, I mean, you guys, obviously, the Spurs, they already lost 2-3 times. That's already happens.
Yeah, I don't think they played the Nuggets.
They haven't played the Nuggets. They played the Rockets once. They played the Lakers once. We still played them 3 more times. The Lakers still played them 3 more times. They could have already had
a loss to the Rockets.
Exactly. They almost lost to the Rockets. So I think that OKC will have at least 1 loss to every top West team. That's my take. They even lost they almost lost to the Suns. They already lost to the Wolves.
So... I like that one.
Yeah, I think that people know that they're beatable, and I think that they will be beat at least once by everyone. I think the Spurs will finish at 2nd. I think that they will keep that 2nd seed.
I think I had them as the 3rd seed.
I think you did, but I think that it's the same thing that we were just talking about.
They're ahead of schedule.
It's the same thing as the Pistons and OKC. It's the youth, and it's like that's what's gonna carry you guys.
They're the Patriots of the NBA.
Or it's like it's like the Rockets of last year. Honestly, maybe you guys are a little bit better, you could argue, but I think that it's...
No, I think we're OKC the year before last year.
Yeah, and that's what J-Dub said even, actually. Yeah. Okay, I did already say this, but I said the Nuggets will slip to 5 or 6. That might be a hot take, or maybe 4. 4 or 5, maybe, could be a fair.
That's definitely the one that I disagree with so far.
It's just because I just know that it's going to be the same as last year, and it's literally going to be like tiebreakers, you know? And so I just feel like... Depending on how this goes for them, we'll see how this month goes. But that's my hot take. Okay, I put this, but I'm not completely confident in this. I put that the Lakers and Rockets will compete for 3 and 4. I'm kind of unsure at this point if that will actually happen or if the Lakers will be 4 or 5, maybe. I don't think they're gonna fall to 6. I don't think it'll be that bad. Hopefully.
So my thing with your predictions so far is I like your last 2, except I would put the Lakers in will slip to 5 or 6, and I would put Nuggets and Rockets will compete for 3 and 4.
Fair. We'll see. I mean, you know what? The bottom line is both of those teams are so banged up right now. that it's gonna depend on who does better in this time without their stars.
My biggest thing is like the
January's gonna really determine.
Again, this is first team all vibes. I don't like the vibes with the Lakers right now. I feel like there's a lot of infighting. I heard a report 2 months ago that LeBron and Luka do not like playing together. That it is very apparent that Luka does not like playing with LeBron. And at first, people were just like, "Oh no, I don't believe this at all. Like LeBron's gonna come in seamlessly. It's LeBron James. It's gonna work." Now it's like, "Oh, was that true? What people were saying? There were people inside." Now it wasn't from a credible source either.
Yeah.
So again, everybody took it with a grain of salt. But now it's just like, "Ooh, was that true? Do they actually?" It's not even like, do they like playing together? It's maybe they just don't play well together. It's the big thing.
I think that it's more that. Yeah. I think it's more that. I think Luka loves playing with Austin. And I think that that's the bigger problem now is that Austin's not playing. I think that's the bigger problem. I also just think that they don't play well together because of the other things I already said, kind of. Like, I think that Luka, like, I don't know. I think that he just understands, like, dude, this guy's falling off. Mm-hmm. And he cannot be my realistic number 2. Austin is the only player on this team that can do that. And so it's like, I don't know. I will say, like, my only comment on this, I don't think it's a personal dislike. I don't think it's that deep. And I actually think that the vibes are good in the locker room. I think they all still like each other a lot. I think that they just all know that it's just, like, not a great fit, maybe, with some of those pieces. But I think I have noticed that, I will say quickly, that there's been a few times where Luka's asked about LeBron, and every time he gives very short answers. Like, he like, you know, the other day they were like, do you think that this time, like, without, like, Austin can be, like, valuable for you and LeBron to, like, build chemistry, basically? Like, do you think this is an important time for you and LeBron? And he was like, yeah, I think it's important. He was like, I don't really know what else you want me to say, but, like, yeah, it's important. And I have noticed that he's very short about it. But, you know, half of me is, I'm like, is he just annoyed about constantly asked about LeBron? Because he is always asked about LeBron. So I don't want to be too deep into it, but I do think that it's more that they just don't play well together than they don't want to play together. So we'll see about that. But again, I think the big thing with the Lakers and the Nuggets, how is January going to go for both of those teams? That's going to kind of determine maybe where they end up falling. Finally, my last West, I will breeze through these last ones. My West play-in predictions. I think it will stay exactly the same as it is now. The Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, Blazers.
And she said that Wolves will stay at 6.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I think the Wolves will stay at 6 just like last year. My dark horse play-in team is the Clippers, which I don't know. They've been playing better.
They've been playing better.
However, the reason I cannot actually put them in, let's not forget, the heavy hand of justice is coming soon to a arena near you.
That's why they have to start playing better now. Well, because if they start to play better, Adam Silver's like, we'll hand out punishment during the summer.
Well, that's why I cannot.
They gotta start winning games now, so they're like, okay, we're a viable product.
That's why I cannot confidently say it. Okay, but yeah. Playoffs are going to be brutal. I have 0 predictions, honestly, as of right now for what's going to happen in the playoffs. I actually have no idea. It's going to completely depend. And health is going to be a huge factor, finishing out the season, etc. I'm going to breeze through these East teams really quick because we kind of have to wrap it up. Okay. I already said I think that the Knicks will clinch the number 1 seed, and I think they will finally make the finals this year. I actually do think that will happen.
Interesting.
I think that the Celtics, if they fall on the right side of the bracket, will make the Eastern Conference Finals, like we already said, and that Tatum will be back and that they will make that push. I think that if Giannis gets traded, he will go to someone in the East. And I think that if he does not get traded, if he doesn't go to someone in the East, I think he won't get traded till the summer. And actually, I think that might be even the bigger thing, is I think it's actually my prediction. I think he might not go till the summer regardless. That's my hot take. And then finally, I think that the Hawks will trade Trey, which I know might be like you I know are high on him, but yeah. They've already been talking about it, so I think that might happen. It
could be Trey for Davis.
Yes, they talked about him, because that would work for both teams, right? So
they need a point guard,
and and Dallas can afford to have somebody smaller and not so good defensively. They can cover up for him more. And
they
then,
would take Cooper off the ball, which is what they want to do
exactly.
because he's so
and they would get a point guard,
off the ball.
and it might work better for them.
His averages off the ball since they moved him off a point guard have been second team all NBA quality numbers.
Way better.
And it's his point guard numbers that are dragging his averages down for his rookie season.
Exactly. So, and then finally, my last kind of like hot take, maybe, I think the Magic might get off Paolo, because I think that he is underperforming. I know he was injured for a while, but he's not been playing well all year, and he does not play well with Wagner. He doesn't. Like, I've seen a bunch of stats, and like, it's like Luka and LeBron. Like, they do not play well together. Like, it's like they play better separately. And I think, in my personal opinion, that Wagner has been playing better, and that he is more experienced, and that they were, in general, the Magic were playing better without Paolo, honestly. So that might be my hot take, but I could see a move there happening.
Paolo for Giannis. If they're gonna move off of him, that is a piece that the Bucks are like, okay, no, this is a thing that we could move forward with. Which
goes back to my Giannis will go to the East take. So those are my takes. I
would much rather have him over Cat if I'm a Buck.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you're the Bucks front, and you're not sending him to a shit team, you're still sending him to a competing team.
You can build around him.
And that's honestly low key because Wagner spreads the floor. He can hit threes, and that's perfect for Giannis, who doesn't want to live there.
And the Magic are 5 right now. The Magic are 5 right now.
And you add a playmaker on the floor.
Exactly.
A guy who can actually pass.
Exactly. So
that's not a bad move if you're Giannis, or if you're the Bucks, or if you're the Magic.
So that's and I think that, didn't the Magic just like no, they just gave pieces, they just gave a bunch of picks to get what's his face. But regardless, those
it
are my
doesn't
takes.
mean they don't have assets, though.
Exactly. So those are my takes.
Assets to give.
Next week we will hear your takes. Okay, so I'll have you prepare those for next week, and we can go through your predictions for the rest of the year. But yeah, that is pretty much it for this week, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will continue to update you guys. Obviously, new year, new us, more content. We love to hear all of it. We love making this content for you guys. So expect more. Also look out for our NFL episodes, of course. Make sure you subscribe, follow, like, do all the things, comment, etc. First Team All Vibes everywhere. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Instagram. All of the platforms. Go follow us. Go listen to us. Go do all the things. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Bye. Hope OKC loses again this week.
And go Spurs, go.
Go Lakers. Come back, Austin. I miss you. Okay, bye.